If you're not using social media as part of your marketing strategy, you're leaving money on the table. And today I'm going to tell you why. Hi, I'm Jenny, and I teach wedding cake makers how to be better business owners, how to attract their ideal clients so they can be the sought out wedding cake designer in their area. Okay, so let's talk about social media. First of all, you guys have no idea how lucky you are to live in a time where you are. When I first started almost 30 years ago, we had to take out print ads. There was no Google, there was no internet. We had to take out print ads. And a print ad at the time, think about this, almost 30 years ago, was for a full page $3,000. I don't know, what do you think that would be now? Like $10,000, if not more. It was outrageously expensive. You had to have professional photographers, you had to have copywriters, or you could write your own copy if you were really good at it. And you had to have the publication to put it in, and you had to have all this extra money to put towards your marketing and hope that you get your money back. And then you have to wait. You would submit everything, and then you have to wait like 3 months for the magazine to come out, and then the magazine is only sitting on stands for about 6 months. So listen, if you guys are not using social media, you're making such a big mistake. Like, it's free. Instagram is free. TikTok is free. Facebook is free. It's all free, and you should be using it. So what I want to talk about today are a few things that you can do to maximize your accounts. Okay, so one thing that I see all the time on Instagram, because I do look at a lot of bakers and I follow a lot of bakers, is that so many people don't put their names or their faces on their account. And I get it, bakers are shy, we don't like to do that, but I'm telling you, especially in this day and age, people want to know who you are. People want to see who you are. Everything is fake, so people are going to want to see who's making their cake. They're going to want to see what's real. They want to see who is behind the business. And this is a way to connect with your ideal clients and really make sure that the right people reach out to you. And I tell the story all the time. I posted a picture, or I think it's on my website. I put a little thing about how I have a corgi, and I had people that saw that on some sort of social media. They saw that I had a corgi. That's why they came into me. They brought their little corgi checks and wrote a little deposit on their little corgi checks. So I mean, this stuff works. So you want to make sure that you have your name on there. And then when you're doing that, when you're writing your bio, say in Instagram, there's a small place to write your bio. Of course, put the name of your business and your logo and a picture of yourself or something like that. And when you do put a picture of yourself, if that's going to be your profile picture, make sure it's your face close up, because on Instagram, when people are reading things on their phone, you're only going to see a tiny little icon. And if it's a full body picture or some abstract picture, nobody can see it. So try to get your face close up and make sure you're making eye contact, okay? So that's one thing you want to do for your bio. And also, like I said, make sure you have your name in there. And then put what your specialty is. So if you make goth cakes, like come up with some phrase about goth cakes. If you're a vegan bakery, put that you are the exclusive vegan bakery in the area. You want to make sure that you put your specialty in there, and people will come to you for those things, okay? And then the other thing that I want to talk about is what is happening now in the world of social media and marketing is everyone is becoming a personal brand, and we are a personal brand. We are literally making the cake. It's not a company where it's a manufactured thing. We're making these things with our hands. So the brand is us. So you have to make sure that you represent that in everything that you do. So when you are making, when you're thinking about social media, instead of just posting about a cake or putting a picture of a cake and that's it, which is great, you want to put your pictures out there, put a little story behind it. Put a little story about maybe how you designed it, or a little behind the scenes. I take behind the scenes video all the time, and I do like little B-rolls and things like that for my Instagram all the time. Just when I'm sitting in my kitchen by myself decorating, I'll just put up my tripod and just start filming, and then I'll have plenty of film to film. I just said film. But all right, you know what I mean. I have plenty of recordings to go through, and I can go ahead and take little snippets and post those on the social media. And I reuse those all the time. So don't worry about posting something and not ever posting it again. If you have something that's successful, wait a couple of months, use the same video, use a different caption, use different music or whatever, and put it back up there, and nobody is gonna know. Okay, so keep recycling these things so you don't always have to create new content all the time. But when you do start getting in the habit of recording what you're doing, and listen, I know it's a pain, it's super busy in my kitchen. You know, people are in and out sometimes depending on what kind of day it is. And, you know, I'm in a hurry, so I don't necessarily want to make sure that my makeup is perfect. Not that I do anyway, but, you know, I want to make sure that I look halfway decent, not just running in from the gym or whatever. But I know it's a pain. But when you do have time to do this, I'm telling you, it will be a real game changer because, again, like people, that's how people are connecting right now. They're connecting personally because they want authentic, they want real, they want to see what is real. And again, I've been saying this for years with all of this AI. AI is great for so many things, but what's going to happen is authentic is going to be valuable, real is going to be valuable. People want to see who is making their cake. Okay, so we go way deeper into this. These are just a couple of tips to get you started, to start thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like, look at your bio, see if there's anything that you can change in there. When you are thinking about social media, it's better to post than not post. I mean, it's, you know, a known fact, the more you post, the more views you're gonna get. That's just the way it is. Okay, so I know it's a struggle sometimes and we don't have time, and, you know, go ahead and post a picture of a cake. That's totally fine when you don't have time. But when you do have some extra time, think about your social media as part of your marketing strategy. It's not just a thing to do, it's not just an extra thing to do. This is part of your strategy and it's important. Okay, so like I said, we go way deeper into this in my program that is designed for wedding cake makers that want to get more leads and get quality leads, to make them the sought out wedding cake designer in their area. And I do have a free call coming up. I will put the information in the description, so make sure you see that. And also, if you do want to be on the wait list for Wedding Cake Business Academy, it is coming out soon. So I will put that in the description as well. Okay, so get on your social media and just put your face out there, put your name on it, and make it real. All right, we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.